The music swelled, laughter filled the air, and the clinking of champagne glasses echoed through the grand hall. Weddings had a way of making people feel like they belonged to something bigger: family, friendship, love. But in the far corner of the room, beneath a crystal chandelier, sat a woman who felt very much alone. Her name was Claire Bennett. CEO of a successful tech company, known in the business world for her sharp decisions and relentless drive. To the outside world, she was unstoppable. But tonight, sitting in her wheelchair with her designer dress draped neatly over her legs, she was just another guest, forgotten in the shuffle of dancing couples and family reunions. She had come because the bride was her cousin. Yet as the night stretched on, Claire found herself smiling politely, nodding at conversations that faded too quickly, and sipping water she didn't really want. People weren't unkind, just busy. Busy being with their partners, busy being with their friends. Busy being part of something she wasn't. And then she noticed him. At the other end of the room, a tall man in a slightly wrinkled suit was chasing after a little girl in a tulle dress. The child's giggles rose above the music as she darted between tables, her curly hair bouncing with every step. The man, clearly her father, looked both exhausted and utterly smitten with her. Claire felt herself smile for the first time that evening. A few minutes later, as the little girl twirled near her wheelchair, the father approached with an apologetic grin. "Sorry about that," he said. "She has a mind of her own." Claire chuckled. "Don't apologize. She's having more fun than anyone here." The man extended his hand. "I'm Daniel. And that hurricane is my daughter, Lily." "Claire," she replied, shaking his hand. There was a pause. And then, out of nowhere, Daniel asked the words that would change the entire evening. "Would you be my date for the rest of the night?" Claire blinked, caught completely off guard. What?" He smiled sheepishly. "I mean, I don't know a lot of people here. And it looks like you could use some company too. Lily keeps telling me I should dance, but I'm terrible at it. Maybe if I had a proper date, I'd have no excuse." For a moment, Claire's old defenses rose. The CEO in her wanted to analyze his motives. Was this pity? Politeness? But then Lily tugged at her sleeve and whispered, "Please say yes." And against every expectation, including her own, Claire said, "All right. I'll be your date." The next hour unfolded like something out of a storybook. Daniel made her laugh with self-deprecating jokes. Lily insisted on teaching them both silly dance moves, and when Claire hesitated, Daniel leaned down and whispered, "Don't worry, no one's watching us. They're all watching the bride." Claire felt something loosen inside her, something she hadn't realized had been knotted for years. She wasn't the CEO in the wheelchair tonight. She was just Claire, a woman laughing, living, belonging. But the real twist came later, when the three of them stepped outside for fresh air. Daniel shared quietly that his wife had passed away 2 years earlier. He had been terrified of raising a daughter alone, terrified of never feeling like a family again. Tonight, he confessed, he almost didn't come. And then he looked at her, not at the chair, not at her success, but at her. "I think Lily needed to see that people can show up for each other. Even strangers. So, thank you." Claire's throat tightened. She had thought she was the one being rescued from loneliness. But maybe, just maybe, she had been the rescue too. As the night drew to a close, Lily clung to her hand and asked, "Can we see you again?" Claire's heart swelled. "I'd like that." When she finally wheeled herself back inside, the chandelier light seemed a little warmer, the music a little softer, the room a little less lonely. Sometimes, she realized, kindness doesn't arrive with fanfare. It sneaks in quietly, through the laughter of a child, the courage of a single father, and a simple question that has the power to change everything: "Will you be my date?" And in that moment, Claire knew, love wasn't always about romance. Sometimes it was about being seen, being valued, and being reminded that no one is truly alone.